I watched a lot of the anxiety flywheel, and it would kick into play, and people would have cortisol build up and stress and anxiety, and that would cause them to go back to a comfort zone. And then so their comfort zone would get smaller and smaller, and the option space to solve problems becomes smaller as well.
Audio Jungle.
Hello and welcome to Business Focus, produced by the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. My name is Angela Inzerillo with Impact Business Solutions, and I'm privileged to be your host as we highlight the great work our local businesses are doing. Well, welcome. We have got an exciting show for you today. But before that, yeah, exactly. Bill is excited. He just wants to get started. We are having a great year, and we're looking forward to sharing all that with you. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, so that we can tell you all about what's happening here at the Chamber, here in Fairfax County, here in the community, like wonderful people like Bill. So Bill, welcome. Bill Wadowick is the owner of MindShift Gym in Reston. Bill, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Did I say it right? Wadowick. And how do you really say it?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Back in the day when I was Polish, it was Wołowiec.
Welcome. It's the new year, right? Everybody's in a new mindset, and you're going to tell us more about MindShift Gym and how you started. So tell us a little bit about your background. I think an engineering guy coming and opening up a gym. So it's more than just a gym. So tell us a little bit about it.
It is. It's more than just a physical gym. There's certainly a mental aspect to it. I was a manager, senior manager working in the federal government, and I'm an executive leadership coach as well. And I watched a lot of I call it the anxiety flywheel, and it would kick into play, and people would have cortisol build up and stress and anxiety, and that would cause them to go back to a comfort zone. And then so their comfort zone would get smaller and smaller, and the option space to solve problems becomes smaller as well. I had a minor in criminology, and that built over the last 15 years or so, where we did a lot of the learning about the brain and how the brain works. And there's so much engineering in my mind to how the brain works now, where you can do this and get that kind of reactions. And so I tied that together with the executive leadership coach, negative anxiety flywheel, to try to figure out how could I help people open that option space. It's called cognitive flexibility. The negative side is functional fitness, where you only think one thing can be a pencil. What can you use it for? Well, writing. But you could actually use a pencil for lots of things. So that's a functional fitness test. I sort of stumbled into what was I going to do after I retired. And I was like, oh, this is a really cool parkour gym called Urban Evolution. And I was going to franchise with them. They had 2 or 3 locations around the DMV. And then during the pandemic, I called them to see how things were going. And they weren't going well. So they were down to 1 location and they were going to shut down. I was a year out from retirement and didn't know any better. So I bought the gym to keep it open. So in my last full year, I dove in, I think, headfirst into the deep end of entrepreneurship and kept the gym open in pandemic while having a full-time job. But then I retired and was able to take it on pretty much full-time. And as you can see, we sort of shifted the name and we shifted the location. So we moved it to Reston, just opened up this summer, and we call it MindShift Gym. A little more focused with the cognitive science behind it now.
People think cognitive science, and you talk about the engineering. I love hearing the background because it's all relative. But what do we all want to do? We want to just have fun. We want to lose weight, right? We want to be able to do the things we did when we were younger. Well, at least I know I do. And there is a lot of psychology behind it. But it's close to the new year, and everyone always has that. I'll call it mind shift, but it really isn't. It's the inspiration to do things differently than last year. We all want to improve ourselves. So who really inspired you to create this particular facility?
Well, yeah, it's definitely, you definitely get your workout and it's very physical. Like everything we do here is physical movement. We talk about it in fundamental movements with the fun. So we're trying to be fun and playful because that's what people want to do in general. I mean, there are certainly people out there that want to go work out and do exercises. Lots of people do it because they feel like they're supposed to. Which makes it harder. So what are you going to do that can help your body, but also is fun to do? And that's what we try to look at, like what are recreational opportunities? So we have all kinds of different movements. Our main one is parkour. Hence you see the little guy here, he's jumping. So that's kind of a parkour. But we do a lot of other movements, but all of them are supposed to be fun. It's like, hey, I always wanted to try that. We'll try it. We try to make it approachable. It's social. So all of our classes are usually around 8 to 10 people. So you're meeting new people, you're having fun together. And there's so much brain science that I don't want to dive too deep into, but there's brain science about that part where that's working with other people, doing novel movements. I mean, simply spoke, your brain evolved to move your body through the environment. full stop.
So is there a certain age or physical fitness?
Because I mean, the answer to that is two-part, I guess, but because we're parkour in a fun place, we get young kids. So parents want to bring their kids want to come here. They want to learn these things. They want to jump around. It's a safe training on how to go playground-ish. So like they're taking classes and we can teach flips and we've got foam pit. So those kinds of things where they learn how to do those things safely and they love it. So kids love it. But the connection is play. So it's a play that we're trying to pull that through line throughout your life of continuing to play. So kids know how to play. The problem is the rest of us sort of forget. So the answer to what's my perfect client is everybody. I'm trying to get the adults all the way up to seniors in here. We have low impact classes. We have a thing called PK Silver, which is parkour for senior citizens. It's just modified movements, and we meet everyone where they are at their level of fitness, at their level of anxiety, because that's a really big one. So I mentioned that anxiety flywheel earlier. So everybody is our client, and anybody that wants to play. And we have a saying, to quote from George Bernard Shaw, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
Right.
That's really like what we're trying to do here is give people a place where they're learning skills, getting fit, having those social interactions, and you're getting all those benefits in your brain of approaching novel movement and teaching your brain that it's okay. It's okay to try this new thing. It's okay to move this different way.
You're tying it all together perfectly. And to get a little bit more into detail, are the trainers there to help? Again, we forget how to have fun, so we can hurt ourselves all too easily. Are they classes as well as one-to-one? And who's supporting you and telling you what to do?
Yeah, we have 3 staff trainers and about 15 other trainers that come in because if someone wants to teach a certain skill that fits into what we're doing, we just met a young lady that wants to teach Bollywood dancing. Great, we work out how to do that, so that becomes a new class that we can offer, a new movement. But all of our classes are that structure led, usually around 8 to 10 people, and so it's very small. We do one-on-ones, we do private lessons if someone wants that. We work with the IDD community as well, and sometimes an individual in that will need just the quietness and the ability to focus on wanting to do private lessons. So we can do all those sorts of things. We do have a couple. It's a very small portion of our thing, what we call open gym, but that's where some of the more advanced parkour or aerial skills they want to come in and practice a specific skill. But even those, we have our instructors there to answer questions and watch to make sure what they're doing is safe.
So walk me through a class. So what are some of the things, and I haven't been in there yet, and I am excited to come in and try. Walk me through some of the routines or some of these movements that you guys do that are
Okay,
fun.
well, yeah, I mean, first of all, it's all fun. So, I mean, that's just the joy of our place. There's lots of interesting objects, and because we do parkour, we have a lot of interesting obstacles. So, there are different kinds of vault boxes or square boxes. We have a tumble track, which is like a long trampoline. I mentioned the foam cube pit that you can do flips into. We have rails that you can hang from. There's things that you step on and walk on, like balance beams. We have a lot of mats, of course, for safety. We have 2 separate rooms that are for dance and yoga. And we have a room for its own for aerial silks, which has a high ceiling so that they can do longer, different kinds of maneuvers up and down the silk. The class itself, generally, I mean, at that point, it does sound a little exercise-like, although our instructors are all about the fun part. So there's a lot of fun engagement, but essentially, you break it down, it's a warm-up, a learning of a skill, a practicing of the skill, and that cool down. And usually they fit in an hour, so usually they're 45 to 50 minutes with those aspects to them. And then there's almost always 20 minutes after where everybody's just chatting and finishing their engagement.
The social aspect, absolutely. So you're not just doing one exercise, you're going around in different types of movements. Okay.
Yeah, it's not so much stations like you would think of maybe with a regular gym where you're doing one machine and another machine, another machine. We're generally learning a skill. So if you're taking a dance class, you're learning a certain skill, you're practicing it, learn it, you build on it. So very progressive. We do everything in progressions. So it's like, okay, this is the skill, we're going to demonstrate it. Okay, this is a skill, you're going to try it. We're going to give you some correction. We're going to do it in a little harder way. We're going to do it in a little harder way. Maybe we're going to combine 2 skills at the end. It's kind of that step up. Same with parkour. We want to teach you how to vault over a box. First, we're going to walk up to the box. I'm going to show you. Would put your hand in there, sit down on the box, and then flip your legs over the side. I mean, you're making a face there, Angela. Have you ever gotten out of bed? Sit up and you put your legs to the side and stand up, right? Or reverse. You sit down on the bed and you flip your legs up. That's like 80% of a vault. So it's something that's what I mean about meeting you where you are. These are things we do, we don't think about, but when you put them in different contexts, they can seem scary. And then that anxiety flag goes up, and that's that negative spot. What I really matters to me so much about owning this gym and calling it MindShift Gym is seeing that epiphany happen. I just had a lady in, it was a mother. She was watching her kid take parkour, and there were only like 2 or 3 kids in the parkour. And I was like, oh, come on, you can try this too. We do, I'm always trying to sell, like adults do it too. But she's like, oh, no, no, I can't. I'm not ready. That's not for me. I'll hurt myself. Like, yeah, that's what everybody says. I just kind of kept encouraging her, encouraging her. We actually had her in that class. So within an hour, she joined the class, jumped up, she ran up the warp wall, grabbed onto the top, turned around, slid back down. And just that epiphany of you quiet the anxiety and you can do it. She did it. And just a huge smile on her face. Not only was she playing and having fun, but she knew that she could overcome that anxiety. That kicks the flywheel into reverse, which is so awesome. I sometimes call myself an epiphany for that reason. Like, that's what I want to sell.
No, the reason I made the face is because you hear the word vault, and I'm thinking the Olympics, and I'm like, yeah, this body can't do that. I don't know if I could ever have done that, but it's probably the fear. So if you really don't know the mechanism, and you can walk someone through the steps, that is very, very cool. So I'm getting a workout, which is physical, right? So I'm probably burning some calories, which we all want.
Absolutely.
But it's a mental mind shift as well. So I always ask, like, what are the results that, people are coming in and what are they hoping to get? Like, what's in it for them?
Yeah, I mean, I gave up my good story for the answer to that question already, which was the mom. But they're getting that epiphany, and we see it regularly. Where if you get people over that hump to actually try the class, what they're going to get is they're going to get a different perspective on what their body is capable of. But then there's also science that they may not even realize about what's happening in their brain. So their brain is becoming more plastic. So we're increasing those connections because you're doing novel movements and you're moving your body in a novel way successfully. So when you go through that and you achieve it, your brain goes, oh, okay, that's good. It's now a contingency I can actually log as safe and okay, which opens that whole perspective of different ways to do that. So what is your option? Right now, people that don't train in any of these kinds of moves, acrobatics or dance or silks or parkour, we fall and we tighten up. And so when you put everything together, you crack. You become brittle and something breaks. It hurts a lot. So learning to fall, learning it's okay to fall, how to fall safely, and doing all that on mats or soft surfaces. Then when you go outside and it happens outside, you can roll out. You know how to disperse momentum. You don't get hurt. So it all works even all the way up through. So where we're trying to do is just get all of those clients in here to experience those kind of benefits.
And it is ideal because you've got all the equipment and the safety and the people there at your location. It also sounds, because it's so much fun, great team building.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the spaces where we just moved us to Reston, and just looking around Reston, there's a lot of corporate opportunities here. And we had done this in our previous location where we did corporate team building. Again, it's an opportunity to bring the group together. You've heard of high ropes courses. People have done escape rooms. We're sort of in between the two. We're an escape room. There's not a lot of physical activity, but there's a lot of mental activity. High ropes course, very physical. And sort of the challenge is that the neat thing about where we are is in between those two. And I think of it as everybody can participate. There's just literally some people that probably can't do the high ropes course. And then there's people that just would be bored doing just the cognitive escape room. So we're in the middle where there's that cognitive piece about it, where it gives you challenges. And then there's also, we will meet everybody. So you asked about the classes. If we're teaching somebody to go over a vault box, someone might have parkour experience. We're going to have them go over the vault box and see how they do their vault and give them some tips on how to make it better. Then someone may never have seen a vault box. We're going to have them walk up, put a hand down, set their butt on it, swirl over. And so we meet everybody where they are. That's great for a team building because you've got a group of people who are from a corporation. They don't have necessarily the same physical skill sets.
Oh, 100%. You keep mentioning parkour. Could you define that for me?
Parkour, in its simplest definition, is getting from point A to point B efficiently. So it's you're moving through obstacles, around obstacles, over, under, rather than if we see, as humans generally, if you haven't been trained in parkour, you walk through. Just think of an office. Most of it been in an office or your living room. You're going to go around the couch, around the end table, to the other end of the room. Maybe you just wanted to get something that was like 3 feet away, but it's on the other side of the couch. Parkour, you would put your hand on the back of the couch, flip your legs over, grab the thing, and you're right there. So you're efficiently moving from point A to point B safely.
So I know you probably would have found out about the Reston Chamber, but how did you find out, and what made you join?
I came in to join the chamber, kind of 2 reasons. One, we just moved to this neighborhood, so we're really community focused and community oriented. I often joke I should have been a nonprofit community center rather than a business. But I think it's so critical to put what we have out into the community and get the community all working together. So for us, that was like a no brainer to be part of the chamber. Now, the second thing we do is we have a sponsorship program. So we facilitate corporate sponsors to actually buy classes and then we have them pass them on to needy populations that can't afford it. And so we've been doing that for years. We've only been open since July, and we've had 4 sponsors came together with 3 sponsorships. Just at the end of, I think we just got those closed out in December. So if you don't mind a shout out, it was Ally Personal Training, Craftsman Auto Care, who are both also Reston Chamber members. And then we also had Brothers Construction and Medicog Consulting. So we combined those sponsors. We've got the 300 classes. So the classes went to Sterling Middle School via Northwest Federal Credit Union Foundation. That's a Title I school, so they were very happy to get those classes and also interested in the cognitive aspect of it. Also, we went to Northern Virginia Family Services, and the third one was Boys and Girls Club about Greater Washington. We have an ongoing one from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we're working with Cornerstone. So, like, a lot of connections through the chamber.
That is wonderful. I love that aspect and giving back. We all talk about how you join the chamber and being part of business community, but also just being part of the community and making those connections. And I love that you're giving back and getting that experience to all these different areas of the community. That's wonderful. That's great. All right. So how can people find you?
There's MindShift Gym. We're at mindshiftgym.com. There's a lot of socials. We're out there on all the socials. You can come by. I mean, our favorite thing is to come by in person. Sometimes that's hard. You want to check things out ahead of time, but basically every evening and all weekend long, we are open, and you can, anytime you pop in, we can at least give you a tour. You might not be a class available. We certainly do request that you reserve a class ahead of time. But as far as dropping in and getting a tour, we're happy to walk somebody around and show them what we have here.
And of course, you're always attending Reston Chamber events. You're part of the Lead Share group, correct?
Yep. That's another big one. Thank you for the reminder that's coming up. I did want to put out in March 22nd at the Reston Community Center. There's going to be a free public event, and it's going to be pretty fun. There should be 30 vendors or so. They'll have tables, but then also 3 speakers throughout the day. And then MindShift Gym will actually have an obstacle course, sort of practical opportunity set up with, I'm not sure if we'll have aerial silks rig up or not, but we'll definitely have the parkour obstacles up. And then some of the Reston Chamber members and Lead Share for wellness will be there. So it'll be a really cool wellness event. Free to the public. Come on by and check that out. That's great.
This Sunday, which is great. So hopefully people can come by with their families. It's going to be in the afternoon over at Reston Community Center there at Hunters Woods, which is wonderful partnership with those guys. And it's great to see that you're going to be a part of it.
Yes, that'd be awesome. I look forward to seeing you. I just didn't get to kind of run through all the different things we have. So I wanted to say that not only do we do parkour and aerial silks, which is like the Cirque du Soleil hanging from a silk, we also have hammock yoga, regular yoga. We have dance, contemporary. We're just starting Bollywood dance. Hammock yoga is like it's in a little silk hammock. We have a hula
Wait, I
hoop
got to
workshop.
interrupt you. Sorry, I got to interrupt you. Hammock yoga. I think hammock, I think sleep.
They're actually, so funny you say that. You're not necessarily sleeping, but I don't know if you're familiar with yoga, but Shavasana is sort of that relaxation meditative state. So in hammock yoga, you actually get to do Shavasana rather than on the ground. You do it laying out in a silk hammock. But also
The hanging thing, I got to try that because this is something I'd be telling you, no way, I can't do it. Absolutely not happening. Talk
But you
about looking
can.
like fun.
But you can, yes.
That looks like fun.
And then the last thing I didn't mention is kind of cool is we have I'm going to try this. I don't know how well it'll work, but we have a fire truck.
Oh, yeah.
We have what we call Flash the fire truck. So we have a modified fire truck that does mobile parkour. And so I don't know if this is visible, but we open up the sides and then you can do obstacle course and stuff. So we can come up and do events, parties, experiences. She's named Flash, but mobile parkour.
I love it. Gosh, so much happening. This is great. I'm glad you could be here, Bill. This is awesome. Perfect time of year. Plus, we've got the event happening, our Health and Wellness Expo at the community center. There'll be lots of other providers from the chamber, but other community tables in the health and wellness space. So make an appointment or call, but definitely stop by. So thank you for being here. And it was great to get to know you better and sharing everything that you're doing with the community.
I appreciate it. It was awesome to be on with you. And I just throw out to everybody, learn, play, grow, and repeat.
Love it. I love it. All right. Great seeing you, Bill. And I'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks.
And we look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Stay in touch with us for future episodes. Like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.